This is TWiT.
Hands-on with the Foci?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The Foci?
Yeah.
Okay.
Foci.
So this is a little...
No, be careful. Be careful where you go with that, because it could go in bad directions.
I see what you did there. Yeah. Foci.
Foci.
So it's called the Foci because it's a wearable that boosts your focus. And I'm actually wearing it right now. And I actually did get buzzed at the beginning of the show.
Really?
Because I started to space out a tiny bit and it started buzzing me to get back into...
It was like...
Wait a minute. Where is it buzzing you?
So, you're supposed to clip it on your waist.
Okay.
It's touching
so it's like a Fitbit. So it's like a
my
Fitbit.
belly right now.
All right.
So this has been on my belly.
And it buzzed you. Is it kind of like a dog fence, electrified fence spot? Like, is it a zap or is it just a vibrate?
It's a little vibration motor. So this is a Foci. Right now it's a Kickstarter. It's not actually like a full-fledged product. This is an alpha version of the product they've sent me to test out. But the reason I was very interested in it is because, you know, since I've become a freelancer, it is very important to me to kind of learn about focusing techniques. And so
Foci.
Oh,
like
maybe
focus.
It is Foci. You know what? I should have probably asked their PR. Excuse me, how do you pronounce the name of your product? And I'm sorry, I did not do that.
I feel like when you have a product that could be mispronounced, you should prep the PR people should be like, pronounce folk, you know, like
The first things first. Yeah.
Regardless, at first I thought this thing wasn't working. I was like, it's an alpha device. This isn't working. Like, this is frustrating. But then I used it today and I'm actually really disappointed in myself. For how much apparently I don't focus. I'm really bad at focusing. It's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
So does it know when, like, if you're easily distracted? Is that
so?
Like,
what
how
it
does
does, from what I understand, like what I've been reading about it. So again, I'm pretty new to it's still a Kickstarter. You know, this isn't a review of the product. This is just like Flo kind of used it for a while and is curious about how this is going to work. So from what I understand, it studies your cognitive states and your breathing patterns to tell what's going on with you. When I'm having a really anxious day, my breathing patterns are a lot faster, they're a lot shorter, and so like the anxiety is more palpable, and this thing totally could tell that I was like anxious today. It was kind of freaking me out a little bit. Like, you know, if somebody's like tattletaling on you, you know
too much.
Or giving you the insight that you signed up for.
That's
exactly.
True. Exactly. Good point, Ron.
It's doing what it's designed to do.
I'm gonna put it back on me, and maybe I shouldn't tell you guys. I'm just gonna tell you. I've actually been clipping it to my underwear because the clip doesn't open enough. It's like really hard to get around my pants. Okay.
Just as long as it stays in place. Yeah.
Just giving you again, this is a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
The Kickstarter went live last week and they're actually apparently they're fully funded by now. Oh my gosh, come on, get on. I'm having the toughest time. Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay, it's touching my body right now. So it has to touch your body so it knows how you're doing, okay? Just it's a very intimate product.
Yes, it's fair.
I feel like did it make you more anxious that it was telling you were anxious? Like, did it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, is it going to like a Heisenberg thing? Like when something when you observe something, it changes the state of it. That's kind of interesting. I don't know.
That's a good question.
It didn't make me more anxious because I was wearing it. It just made me more aware of like the fact that I was maybe spacing out or like focusing too much on it can tell when you're focusing. It's really crazy. Like it knew when I was writing emails. This is really embarrassing.
Well, but then it corrects you by buzzing and
it buzzes for a while.
Is that distracting or does that actually clue you to
it's
focus?
It's supposed to make you go,
oh.
Well, so what were you doing when you were losing focus? Were you just like staring out the window or were you like, what were you doing?
Staring at the window, staring at your phone. Like a couple times I was grabbing my phone like, I don't want to focus. Like, I'm okay. Who's on Snapchat? And then it's like, what are you doing?
Snapchat is not allowed.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Go back to what you were doing. The only thing that I'm still kind of learning is the app. So the app, the interface is is interesting. There are little prompts that pop up to kind of like offer you some help. So this told me that I was focused for 22 minutes during the show today. Let's see, we've been filming the show for whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so
more than a half an hour.
Whatever. So focused 22 minutes. And I was distracted for 6 of those minutes. And so
one of those was the ad.
Come back to us, Flo. Show's not over yet.
And so it offers me like a little labeling strategy. So what it's going to do is it's going to walk me through how to like put out my, it's talking right now. So let me.
It takes us almost half an hour to refocus.
I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah.
Try to pin down these internal distractions.
So it's like a little coach.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to walk you through that. It's like a multi-screen process. And then this little orb, shoot, let me turn down the, sorry about that. This little orb, there we go. Now you can see it. This little orb changes colors. So it's yellow when you are focused. It is gray when it's like not really sure what's going on. And then it's supposed to, see the app still feels very like alpha. It still feels like a very alpha product. But it's supposed to bring up my timeline. Oh, there we go. That's my timeline, actually. I was hitting the wrong thing. So this is what a timeline looks like. I only have 1 day of data. So I was, 100% more focused than yesterday when I wasn't wearing this at all. And this shows kind of the track of me focusing. So around 1 p.m., I focused for about 13 minutes and 56 seconds.
Congratulations.
Lordy. Yeah, but that's out of the whole hour, which is like, man, Flo, what's going on with you?
Some people don't focus at all in an hour, Flo.
That's true.
What I like about this app is that this app is giving Flo some insight into what it's like for me and Jason.
Oh, geez. Yes, I guess it's true. I think that's true.
Fascinating. This is really cool.
There are a couple of other colors as well. So when you're free from tension, I believe you will see a blue state. So I was blue right around the time I was starting to go do my makeup, which is very interesting. I guess that's your
moment of zen.
It is, though. I do go to the makeup mirror when I need to kind of like whatever, meditate. It's an art form. If you've got attention fatigue, it turns purple, which indicates that you are focusing too much, which clearly is not my problem.
At 5 p.m., the beginning of the show.
No, that's gray. That's gray, actually.
Oh, that's not purple. Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
no, that's gray. And also it tracks stress so that you know, but I haven't seen, it goes red. It goes red when it identifies stress.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't stressed today. I was just anxious. So I was thinking about everything I had to do, and it got that down.
And so, okay, so you're armed with all of this information then. What do you do with that information to change things for the better in how you manage your life then? What can you do with that?
You've got to be really present. You've got to become really present about the log and the data that you've sort of accumulated, and to just really take that into consideration, like, why am I only focusing 13 minutes out of the hour? And what the app does, it's supposed to help you, it's supposed to coach you through that. It goes, why maybe you're feeling yellow because you're really anxious about everything you have to do, which is why it suggested that I do labeling, because labeling is a form of stress reduction. It kind of helps you get your thoughts in order so that you know what you're doing. What we're seeing in the video quickly on that just passed is every prompt will offer a couple of answers that you can enter in. So it'll ask like, why are you distracted? And you'll tell it like, I'm thinking about too many things, or I'm really worried about something, or I'm not in a good mood today, stuff like that. And then it kind of logs that data for you. I imagine over time that data becomes like just the breadth of data that you collect becomes super helpful. I really want to use it to the point where I start to see all the different colors, and then I'm going to start analyzing what's going on and sort of taking it from there. And is it the fact that I'm stressing out too much over all that I have to do? Then I need to go find a resource to help me work that out. So it's a little thing to help you get on that path. It's a very small little thing that you clip on your underwear.
Interesting. And it's a Kickstarter, so there's still time for you too, if you want.
Yes.
A Foci.
So they are fully funded. They were fully funded in 5 hours. They went live last week on June 6th. But if you still want to get one, you can, and I believe it's $65 if you'd like to get one.
Okay.
And I believe it only works on Android. I know that they have iOS screenshots, but from what I remember, this was an Android first device, or perhaps it was the beta that they were telling me was Android first. But
okay,
doesn't matter. This is all about Android.
Looks impressive. You know,
it's different for sure.
Yeah.
It really. Have y'all ever heard of like the Pomodoro technique? It's like a productivity technique. Yeah, it reminds me of that because aren't you supposed to like track like your productivity and like kind of like note whether you're distracted or not? It feels like that, but like kind of like a holistic, like your whole life rather than just like, 25 or 5-minute segments. I forgot what it was, but yeah.
And I think also the use of the little dongle, the little Fitbit kind of device takes the to your point, the Heisenberg kind of principle aspect of it, like having to acknowledge that I'm not focusing, like having something tell you that you're not focusing, I guess gives you a little more focus in that regard, that you got to snap back and get back to it, like a third party kind of observing you. And so that's interesting as opposed to self-discipline, which I know a lot of people have a hard time with.
Well, and self-discipline can be difficult when you're worrying and anxious every day, and to kind of have like this data, maybe, if you're working with a therapist to kind of help you with cognitive behavioral therapy, you can bring this data in and then you have more concrete data to work from. And it's not prohibitively expensive. I mean, if they're going to keep it the $65 price point, like I can imagine other wearables of this type sort of coming out. And I really like this product space. I'm really interested in it. I like anything that kind of coaches me and helps me figure out what's going on inside my brain.
Yeah, as long as it's based on something tangible. Yeah. Like I'm really curious to know how they're rating this stuff. Obviously, I mean, you're saying that it matches your experience today. When it's saying you were stressed out, you actually were.
My breathing patterns.
They're doing something. Yeah, there's the sensor is doing something and correlating it at least to a certain degree appropriately. I'm just curious how that works.
Also, it only works while sitting down. So, it doesn't work if you're standing up, and they say it's because when you're engaged in postures other than being seated, your body movements often create excessive data noise, which interfere with the diaphragmatic respiratory signals, which is what it uses, which is how it knows, because my breath is short, that kind of thing.
Got it.
It's really fascinating.
Interesting.
And it's not invasive. Like I don't have to puncture myself to get this information.
I mean, you're attaching something to your underwear, but if that's okay with you, then
listen, I work from home. Okay.
Fair enough.